I just came out, brought baby out. You gonna run around and play? Yeah, she's stretching. Gonna go out here. It had been raining some here in Davidson County all week, but then all of a sudden it stopped, and it shows it's gonna be tremendously hot this week. Terribly hot, actually. But it's not too bad right this second, but it is early. And I pruned you can see all the leaves. I need to pick them all up because that's great for new bedding. But I pruned all my squash plants, and look at all the blooms coming out from it. That's what happens when you actually do that. All the new leaves are coming out. These more pruning done. I pruned my eggplants, and I've got purple blooms on it. Yeah, he said, I'm going to see what's going on. Ain't that right, baby? And I save all my egg scraps and stuff and throw it in my garden. And I usually have a big pot of it, but I didn't today. It really fertilizes your garden good, believe me. So, and my, let me put this down a few seconds. My cucumbers is my problem. I've got new cucumber vines going right now, but my older ones are only producing like 2 or 3 a week. Not very many, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the cucumbers. I'm a beginner at the garden anyway. But you can see since I pruned it, all the new leaves that's coming out and all the blooms I've got. I really need to prune them some more. It was hard to get up in here. I got them too close when I planted them. I actually planted, look, I got some squash going here. I actually planted them way too close to each other, and I knew that, but I told my husband, well, they don't care. They love it. They like being close. And that's a bad squash, so there's no use to keep that on there. So just throw it. It'll fertilize your ground. And I just turned the water on a little bit. My tomato vines are hanging full, but I'm just not doing something right about that either. I don't know, y'all. And all of this is really dry because it didn't rain good. So I wanted to wet it down some. I've got some cabbage heads making. And I think this is seeding right quick. We pulled 2 heads from this, and I think it's starting to seed. Would you leave it there? Don't tear them down. Look at my squash plants. Ever since I've got one ready. Ever since I pruned everything, look at all the new ones coming out. Look at all the new ones coming out. Ever since I pruned them, I went through and cut all the old leaves off of everything. My flowers are doing good too, but I put flowers up here. I don't know. I was told to put some flowers up here. It helps keep some of the animals out of your garden eating your... But we have a little friend. It's a rabbit. And she nibbles on everything. So, but look at my cucumbers are doing really good over here. But my... yeah, the cucumbers are doing really good. They're actually full of blooms. So if y'all know what to do to keep them going good, please leave me a message under here. I really want them to live good, and I want them to do good. These are cantaloupes coming up. And like I said, he says I get them too close. I do, but when you're doing it yourself, and just a little background, last year we planted a garden together, and we did really good. But about, I think it was about the end of July, August, I woke up one morning with a red eye. And I thought it was allergies. Honestly, thought it was allergies. I never had any eye problems. Always had 20/20 vision. Never had glasses. Never had any problems with my eyes. So I thought, well, my allergies have always been really bad for me. So I thought, well, my allergies are really bad today, evidently. So I got up and took pictures of it. I said, I guess I need to get some eye drops or something for allergy relief. Well, I did that. And it started clearing up a little bit. But then, about a week later, it was red again, really bad. So I went to urgent care. And they told me, well, they didn't think it was anything but my blood pressure. But, I mean, I am on blood pressure medicine. So I thought, well, okay. Look, I cut a lot of the bad off of this, and it's starting to do good too. Anyway, back to the story. I thought that my allergies were really, really bad. But they didn't think it, they thought it was blood pressure. So by that evening, though, I didn't know. I thought, well, I guess I need to go to the hospital because it's too late to go to the doctor. Because by that evening, my eyesight started, like, it looked like I was looking through a shutter on one eye. I was looking through like a shutter where you open a shutter curtain. That's what it looked like. And I thought, God, that's strange. It was like a really weird shutter look. Just lines crossed, like you're looking through a gate or a shutter or something. Okay, so by that, about an hour later, it started getting even worse. And it started scaring me. So I called the doctor. She told me to go straight to the hospital. They thought my retina had come detached. Well, I didn't even know what that was. Because I had never, ever, ever had a retina to come detached. I didn't know. I didn't have eye problems. I need to water those too. But anyway, so I went ahead and went to the hospital. I called my husband. He said, I'm on my way. And he's a manager of a restaurant. So he manages the K&W over in Greensboro off Holden Road. We are actually in North Carolina, by the way. And he's a hard worker, but he still came for me. He dropped everything. He knew there was something wrong. He already knew I was having eye problems. He knew something was wrong, but he wasn't sure what it was. And we really did think it was probably just an eye problem that had to be corrected all of a sudden. Now, I never had eye problems, let me tell you. So I believe that. And then that night at the hospital, they did a scan and all kinds of stuff. And the guy said, the doctor said, I can't really figure out what it is, but I can see some fluid behind you. But they're not eye doctors at the hospital anyway. So this was at 11 o'clock at night, y'all. They get me an appointment before I leave the hospital for the next morning at 8 a.m. in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at a retina specialist. Okay, I went to her. Really nice Chinese doctor. Sweet as can be. Very, very intelligent. You can tell she knows what she's doing. A lot of people there. And she tells me that I believe your retina is coming detached, but there's something else going on there. So I'm going to make you an appointment right now across the street from me at another retina specialist that's even higher up than her. Like a surgeon type thing. And by that time, I'm getting scared, y'all. And I'm thinking, boy, I'm going to have surgery and have my retina fixed. There's something going on here. And I'm not going to lie. I was scared. But no more scared than what I really found out. What I really found out was he came in there and did a sonogram on my eye. I never been to an eye doctor like that, so I didn't know they could even do that. And he rolls his chair down around in front of me. He says, Miss Leonard, your retina is coming detached, but you've got a tumor growing through your pupil. And that's why it's happening. It's pushing your eye out. It's pushing your eye pupil out that way. We have surgeons in Winston-Salem, I'm sure, are really good. Well, by that time, I'm sitting there with tears rolling down my face. My husband's sitting there in shock. We're both in shock. So we know I got some kind of cancer, but we didn't know what. Pretty sure. And we were really scared. I didn't even, know what it was going to be. And so he made me an appointment with a Duke Hospital doctor that he graduated with, a colleague, which I thank God did this for me. And yeah, I went down there and they did all these tests on me. And he come in, he didn't even look at no test results. He just looked at the screen on the computer of my scan and looked around at me and said, that is definitely melanoma eye cancer. He said, I can tell you what that is without even looking at the test results. And of course he did look, and it was that. He goes, that's got to go. And I'm just looking at him. He goes, honey, that's got to go. You're still young. You got to let that eye go. Well, I'm in shock. I'm telling you. My husband and I had only been married about 8 months. And, because this was a marriage I had just had in January. I was a widow for 10.5 years. Raised 3 kids and was just starting over life. And we're both just looking at each other and we're like, wow, you know, am I going to die? I'm going to be honest with you. And I was so scared. And so he said that it's 1 out of 6 million, but since this has happened, I have seen so many people that's had melanoma eye cancer. I'm being honest with you. So make sure you don't go outside without your glasses on. Sunshades for sure, because this sun is in the air. I had to have my eye removed October the 17th. I got it out just in time before it spread to anywhere else. God did this because they didn't even have a doctor that could do it. They were booked up, let me tell you. And I got down on my hands and knees and I prayed to God to save me because I wanted to see my kids grow up and have a life. I wanted to see grandkids. I wanted to spend time with my husband. I just married. I wanted to live. I wanted to learn more about Jesus. I had just got saved. It's so crazy, y'all. That's how the devil gets in your life. I had just got saved and baptized, started over life, and right there shows you just how the devil can get in there and try to kick you down. Don't let him do it. God still won. I might have lost my eye, but I'm still alive. And let me tell you, the most important thing about this is you got to put God first. You got to believe and you got to trust that he's going to save you. And he did, and I did not let down. Believe me, I did not let down. I knew God was going to be there for me. The doctors come back and said, you don't need any chemo or anything. It didn't spread. We got it all out. You can't make this stuff up. God did this. And like I said, there was no doctor that could even do my surgery. So after I prayed to God, I called every day trying to see if they had anything yet. They didn't. We almost thought we were going to have to go through Winston to get a surgery. And I was fine with that. Honestly, I was completely fine with that. But for some reason, with that doctor giving me Duke, I just had it in my mind that that's where God wanted me to be. And so, yeah. My eggplants are a little dry, so I'm going to get them going too. But after I called down there every day and I got down on my hands and knees and prayed to God, the next morning I called back down there to see if they had anything ready yet. And you know, she goes, oh, nobody's called you yet? And I mean, I had just called them the day before. And I'm like, no, ma'am. She goes, they've got you set up for Wednesday morning. Can you be here by 1 o'clock to get prepped? And I'm thinking to myself, I can be there tonight, lady. We will be in Durham tonight if I need to be. She said, no, Wednesday morning. Your surgery's at 2. You need to be here by 1 to be prepped. And, yeah. I went in that hospital. They called my name to go back and get prepped to have my eye removed. I cried all the way down the hall. I'm not going to lie. Not hysterically. Just had tears rolling down my face. And the nurse goes, honey, what's wrong? I said, nothing. I just got to put God first. And she just grabbed me and started praying. She didn't even know what I was going to have done. She had no idea what I was having done. So after we got in there and we got through praying and all, and got on the table and started taking my clothes off and putting my hospital gown on and getting prepped and having the IV put in, she goes, what are we doing today? And I told her, and she just looked at me and she goes, God's got this, honey. I said, I know. I know he's got it. And he did. He never let me down. And one thing my mother-in-law, she's 92, told me, you know, God will never leave you nor forsake you if you call on him and you believe. And she was right. Another funny thing, when we first told my mother-in-law that I had eye cancer and had to have an eye removed, She didn't know what to say to me at first, and she goes, well, honey, that's why we got another one. You got another one. So, yeah, I live every day with one eye, and I'm adjusting to it because I'm thankful to God he saved me. And you know why he didn't save my eye? I can tell you exactly why he didn't save my eye. He didn't save my eye because he knew he'd draw closer to me. With me losing the eye, it's made me believe and draw closer to him. If I would have just had everything go right and saved my eye and everything, I would have kept on doing things like reading horoscopes and stuff. I don't even look that way no more. I only look at the Bible. That's it. And I love to sew. And it's harder now, but I do it. So check out some of my videos on sewing too, because it's a hobby I enjoy doing. And just remember to pray for somebody every day and smile. You don't know what people are going through. Bye, y'all.